Newswatch 18, hear what students are saying about proposed tuition hikes.
And find out how you can get a head start on finding an internship.
And I'll let you know how the ISU fall sports teams are shaping up.
We woke up the rain this morning but made way for sun this afternoon. Will it be sticking around? I'll let you know coming up. You're watching Newswatch 18.
Newswatch 18. Newswatch 18 starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Thursday's October 23rd edition of Newswatch 18. I'm Mariah Anderson.
And I'm Brittney Gambill.
About 15 students rallied outside of Parks Library on Wednesday to protest tuition increases. Students chanted and told stories of working multiple jobs while being a full-time student in hopes of getting the attention of the Iowa Board of Regents. Protesters are asking for no tuition hikes, full public funding for Iowa's 3 public universities, and eliminating administration fees. The Board of Regents met last night and will again tonight to discuss several agenda items on tuition policies and mandatory fees. The board will be voting on the tuition hikes in December.
In addition to tuition changes, the Board of Regents will also be discussing possible changes to Iowa State residence halls. Large Hall could begin renovations to improve windows and repair walls to enhance energy efficiency. If approved, the project will cost about $3 million. Friley Hall could also be getting some changes. A proposed 13,000 square foot dining center is waiting approval to be added. The project would convert currently unused dining space into a food court style area. The area would be similar to the food court in the Memorial Union and would cost around $6.2 million. The project is predicted to be completed by April 2016.
Dr. Dong Yuhan was indicted for falsifying blood research into a possible vaccine for HIV. The indictment was brought against Han when he faked results that the vaccine, when tested with rabbits, had shown improvement. Han asked for $15 million in federal research grants and was awarded this periodically over last year. With almost all of the $15 million being spent, Han could spend the next 20 years in prison and face up to $1 million in fines.
2 Iowa State students are crossing international waters to prepare turf. Turf management graduate students Joshua Lenz and Kevin Hansen will be traveling to London, England to prepare turf at Wembley Stadium for 2 games in the NFL International Series. This is not their first time preparing turf for big games, however. Both Lenz and Hansen have prepped turf in Jack Trice Stadium for Cyclone games, but both have also interned on turf crews at Super Bowls. Lenz left for London October 16th to work on the Atlanta Falcons and Detroit Lions game next week. Hansen will depart October 29th to prepare for the Dallas Cowboys and Jacksonville Jaguars game on November 9th.
Tyler Hilton will be performing at the M Shop of the Memorial Union tomorrow night from 9 to 11 p.m. Hilton released his debut album, The Tracks of Tyler Hilton, the same year as his acting debut as Chris Keller on the 2nd season of One Tree Hill. He is also known for his acting roles in the acclaimed Johnny Cash biopic, Walk the Line, where he played Elvis Presley. Hilton eventually returned to the music industry with the 2012 release of Forget the Storm, which hit number 2 on Billboard's Heat Seekers album. Tickets are $15 for students and $20 to the public.
7 apparel and design students designed and produced a nature-inspired alien costume for Raymond Garden's 9th annual pre-Halloween party. Students have been working since the beginning of the semester on their costumes that will take life at Spirits of the Garden this Saturday and Sunday from 4 to 7 p.m. Join in many activities including trick-or-treating and pumpkin broom ball. Admission is free to Iowa State students and $8 to the public.
Are you an advertising, journalism and mass communication, or public relations major? If you answered yes, then come out to the Greenlee Jumpstart Internship Fair next Wednesday, October 29th from 1 to 5 p.m. Over 30 employers will bring recruiters to the Great Hall of the Memorial Union looking to fill internship positions. Pizza and beverages will be served at 5 p.m. prior to the discussion about internships from former Greenlee interns. Hear about the good, the bad, and the ugly from past 499 experiences.
Now we're joined by Annie at the desk. Annie, what's new in Cyclone sports?
Well, the volleyball team had a great win last night and set to play again tomorrow. After the break, I'll tell you more. You're watching Newswatch 18. Welcome back to Iowa State News. I'm Annie Harmon with your sports report. In recent years, the Iowa State wrestling program has its shares of ups and downs, but this year the team says no more. There was plenty of excitement in Ames for ISU Wrestling Media Day. The team finished 12th at last year's NCAA championship and just went 7-9 in duels. With a promising batch of freshmen joining the veterans, the Cyclones are ready to take the next step. Iowa State had a big win against Kansas last night. Taylor Mankel has the story.
Cyclones women volleyball team picked up their third Big 12 victory at home in Hilton Coliseum against the Kansas Jayhawks. This coming after a heart-wrenching loss to Texas Tech over the weekend in 5 sets. This game, too, was a 5-set thriller. The Cyclones came into this matchup with a bad taste in their mouth and looking for something to prove after the letdown in Lubbock, and they had a hard test to come at home against Kansas. Kansas stole the Clones' thunder in the first set, controlling the score easily, giving them a 1-0 set advantage. But the Cyclones bounced back in the second and third, stepping up on defense, including blocks from Victoria Hurt. Cyclones take the second set 25-16 and the third 25-17. The fourth set showed a great amount of competition as both teams were hand in hand in this tight match. The Cyclones couldn't close out, however. Kansas pulled out the set to force a fifth. Always looking good and going good for the Cyclones as they jumped out to a 7-3 advantage, with the continuing great play of Caitlin Nolan leading the way with her school record-breaking and Big 12 record-tying performance of 43 digs. KU fought all the way back, though, tying it at 8-8, but with a hurt kill to give the Cyclones the lead once again, they never looked back, and the match was theirs for the 11th victory on the season. Cyclones look to keep the ball rolling this weekend on Saturday as they travel to Waco, Texas to face off against the Baylor Bears. For ISU TV Sports, I'm Taylor Mankel.
The Iowa State swimming and diving team is set to host South Dakota on Friday. The two teams have met in 6 times in dual meet action, and the Cyclones hold a perfect 6-0 record against the Coyotes. With the win, ISU would improve to 2-1 on the season, becoming the 9th Iowa State swimming and diving team to do so in the past 10 years. Their one loss was a 27-point lead slip against Nebraska, and the Cyclones are looking to rebound with a strong performance at home. The meet starts at 6 p.m. in Beyer Hall. The Iowa State women's golf team wrapped up its fall schedule with a 7th place finish at the Stanford Intercollegiate Tournament. The tournament featured 11 teams ranked in the nation's top 50. The top team finish of the season was a 3rd place showing at the Windy City Collegiate, a tournament consisting of 4 teams ranked in the nation's top 10. The Cyclones are ranked number 32 in the latest Golf Week rankings. They shot an 862 at the Stanford Intercollegiate, and they ended tying for the 3rd lowest score in school history. The Iowa State women's basketball single game tickets for the 2014-15 season are now available through purchase at the Cyclone ticket office. Fans are encouraged to purchase their tickets quickly. Several great ticket promotions are available for women's basketball games. Tickets may be purchased online, by phone, or in person at the Iowa State Athletics office. And that's all I've got for your Cyclone Sports Report. We're joined by Zach at the desk. It was such a nice day out today. What can we expect more for this weather?
Our temperatures warmed up into the 70s today. They'll go even warmer tomorrow. Just how warm will they go? I'll let you know coming up after the break.
This is Newswatch.
It was a beautiful day out there. Thunderstorms early this morning, but the sun made way, and right now outside the station at 50 degrees, our dew point at 46 degrees. That's not going to let our temperature go much lower than that tonight, as our dew point keeps our temperature always above it, and our relative humidity is at 86%, so there's a lot of moisture out there. Taking a look at our current temps across the state right now, we are at 48 in Mason City, 50 in Fort Dodge. Around the 50s is the common theme across much of the state right now with those clear conditions. So it's going to be a beautiful evening out there, a little cooler in Ottumwa with 47 degrees. So we had those clouds continue to push out, and there they are. They're continuing to work out to the east. Maybe you saw that partial solar eclipse this afternoon out to the west and across central Iowa. Otherwise, eastern Iowa saw those clouds, so they never really got to see it. Otherwise, we set up for a beautiful afternoon. Precip in the last 24 hours, the heaviest of the rainfall has been across western and north central Iowa. We saw about 87/100ths of an inch here in Ames, 22/100ths of an inch in Des Moines. Lighter amounts as you got further east as the rain started to fall apart. Otherwise, 6/100ths of an inch out in Sioux City, with a 38/100ths of an inch out there in Mason City. Taking a look at your extended forecast there, we start to warm up a little bit into the 70s and upper 60s, and by the weekend it's going to be beautiful. We're going to be in those sunny conditions. Otherwise, we're looking at clear conditions. On Tuesday is our next chance of rain, and if we back up to our graphics here a little bit, we see that those conditions will persist throughout much of the weekend. Our dew points are right now in the lower 40s, upper 40s and lower 50s, and that has caused our overnight lows to look at 47 in Davenport, 52 in Ottumwa. Why I'm showing this is because our overnight lows are going to be close to our dew points this evening, and that's going to create some fog, and it's going to be actually pretty thick across eastern Iowa. And because of that, we have a dense fog advisory that will go into effect at 1 a.m. this morning and will last through 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're looking at visibilities lower than a quarter of a mile, and we'll continue to see those clear out by the afternoon. We'll be 50, or we'll look at 74-degree temperature by Friday, with those clouds clearing out by tomorrow morning. The sun will return, so Friday afternoon tomorrow will look perfect. By Saturday, will be a high of 68 degrees with those clear conditions as well. We start to warm back up by Monday, but then we have a cold front move through Monday night into Tuesday, which will drop our temperatures down into the 50s by the end of the week. We're looking at another rain chance by Tuesday.
Last night, members of Hindu Yuva, or Youth for Unity, Virtues in Action, celebrated Diwali outside of the Memorial Union. Members of the club lit diyas, or small candles and lamps, on top of the Fountain of the Four Seasons. Diwali, also known as the Festival of Lights, is a Hindu celebration held in autumn every year. Members of Hindu Yuva don't only meet during Diwali, though. Members cook together and celebrate many Hindu festivals throughout the year to make campus feel a little bit more like home.
The best surprises in life come in small packages, especially when you are least expecting them. This was the case for Cedar Rapids couple Scotty Steele and Misty Beebe, who did not know they were going to become parents until the day it happened. Steele rushed his wife to St. Luke's emergency room early Monday morning because she was having abdominal pains, but a lab test brought baffling news that Misty was not just a few months pregnant, but full term and ready to deliver. 12 hours later, she delivered a healthy baby boy. Baby Briggs is in intensive care as a precaution, and the parents expect to take him home late Thursday night or early Friday morning.
And that's it for your Thursday's edition of Newswatch 18.
Be sure to tune in next Tuesday for more Cyclone news, weather, and sports.
Have a good night, Ames.